Before Jesus Kuthumi and then later the Master Omraam Mikhail Ivanhoff were commissioned as world teachers, Lord Maitreya was the world teacher, as we know. He comes today to share with us that initiates on the path who are advancing swiftly toward their self-realization are often called upon to teach. And what happens when you actually teach? You have to know the subject first. You have to have become the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, the teaching that you will deliver. And having first mastered that understanding, you can relate it. And then others will be able to relate to it because you have first related to it. So self-realizing divine wisdom is the key to being a true teacher. Knowing the subject matter inside and out through deep reflection upon it. And then as you continue to reflect on it, meditate upon it, you receive even deeper mysteries and understandings that come through how you have applied that wisdom in your life. And often stories of the application of truth and wisdom are more inspirational than just book knowledge or some teacher telling you this is the way it is or this is the truth. The actual point where the rubber meets the road and how that wisdom is actually actuated in the world is impressive. And I believe really drives home the points of what you teach and what you share so that it becomes very integrated in the minds and the hearts and even the wills of the student. Some of the most inspirational books I've read are those of stories where people have overcome, where mystical things happen because they were open to them, aware of the possibilities, and then they invited those divine possibilities by their consciousness wed to spirit, where they were in a divine, reasonable state of consciousness where they could accept that there is something greater than them and that they would open their minds to those possibilities. If we are closed or think that we have the whole truth and nothing but the truth, God forbid that we go there, because God will awaken us and shake us into a new consciousness when we have entered a state where we think we know more than others, and someone great will come along who just, compared to them, we are like nothing in terms of what we've realized. This happened to us, in my opinion, with finding the Master Omraam Mikhail Ivanhoff, a fully self-realized master who, in every discourse that he gave, brought forth something that was tremendous, powerful, and brought the initiate or the student or the disciple to a new unfolding of how spirit can move in their life. He gave many, many stories, and just like Jesus or Aesop gave parables. And these were very important to bring that teaching into the practical domain of our everyday life. If we only talk and don't demonstrate, are we a true teacher? The Master asks. If we only teach and don't demonstrate, have we self-fulfilled the essence of that teaching in our lives? And can we really then initiate others or stir others to action or to higher consciousness? I don't believe so. I think we have to self-realize that truth first. I know for me, I was called after 30 years of study to do what I'm doing now. I wasn't ready. I would not have been ready even maybe 2 years before I turned 48 to be doing this work. And I think many of you probably feel the same way as you're moving toward, some of you, toward teaching more classes in Mayer University or on new moms or shorter courses. You know that to be real and to really inspire your students, you have to have really assessed and become what you desire to share and incorporate it into your life in some way. I know in the case of Mona and me, we had to learn the paneurythmy by practicing it day after day for probably 2 to 3 months until we really learned the steps. It was the only way for me to feel that I was ready to in any way demonstrate it or share it, because we can't always have Adele, Nathaniel here, or Dennis Fisher, or others who have really, become that dance and the 28 steps thereof by practicing and practicing and practicing. So we could reflect on what we know, Maitreya says, and assess what we really know. And then, if we feel called to teach, write down what we know from practical living daily experience and speak from that. Boyd's done this many times through his meditation practice, and he was commissioned by El Morya to do, a series of 12 talks, one a month for a year. And they were awesome because even though the master gave him the basic subject material, he had, through his life and daily practice, gone deeper and deeper and come to many points of self-realization along the way where he could speak on virtually any topic and bring some enlightening energy and consciousness and understanding to all of us. I believe that many of you, and Maitreya says you are being called, many of you, and I've been kind of bugging you over and over the last number of years to teach, right? Because I'm not going to be here forever, and if our movement is to be sustained, we have to have many, many teachers. So Maitreya has called you, the world teachers have called you, Lanello and Claire de Lee have called us even back in 2012 at Lake Titicaca. And they said many of you would be teaching. So that was how many years ago now? 9 years ago? So we have to carve out more time, opportunities, and the wherewithal for many of you to teach. Yet, to qualify, know your subject. Just as we know ourselves, know your subject. And if you don't know it quite yet, read everything you can about it. Try to apply that understanding, that knowledge, that wisdom. Be those truths that you would like to share with others. And then with your story backing what you will be sharing or teaching, I know it will be powerful, it will be dramatic, it will be rich in the spiritual graces of God that will truly move people, sometimes even through tears of joy, to self-assess and to become more humble, to become more dedicated, more consecrated, and to then move mountains themselves to attain to greater divine heights.